What's going on, dudes? Welcome back to the vault. It's your boy, MC Gucci Titties. And the film I will be reviewing this evening is House of Gucci. Let's just jump straight into it. This one opens with two separate introductions. Firstly to Maurizio Gucci, and then secondly to Patrizia Gianni, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, before they both meet one another at a party. Quite an all-star cast for this one. Adam Driver and Salma Hayek are having a really strong year, starring in this together. Obviously, with their other films that have been released this year, they are joined by the likes of Lady Gaga, Jared Leto, Jeremy Irons, and the acting powerhouse that is Al Pacino. Obviously, the cast is strong and famous. Is certain to put butts in seats. As is the subject matter. The story for this tells of the behind-the-scenes family drama of the luxurious super brand Gucci, based on a true story. It details how the company changed hands among the family until eventually went public in 1995. It does paint a picture of how tumultuous the family was and how this brand came to be. Ridley Scott directs this one, and he's done well at giving us this true life story that maybe not a lot of people know about. Obviously, everyone knows about the Gucci brand, but not many people know this history behind it, I guess. And obviously, all the squabbles that the family had, I definitely didn't know. I'm about to do something I don't enjoy. Okay, I kind of enjoy doing this, but I don't usually enjoy tearing films to shreds, but I really, really wanted to like this film. From the first trailer, I was fascinated to, finally watch this one on the big screen. Unfortunately, though, it fails in a lot of ways, and that's due mostly to the script and weird jump cuts. Firstly, the script, for the most part, largely focuses on the family squabbles of the Gucci family, as I said previously. From the trailer, I was under the impression that we would see the rise of Gucci as a company and the obstacles it faced, rather than the obstacles that the family faced. Obviously, the obstacles that the family faced in their personal lives. That wasn't the case, which was fine. It was the weird, out-of-place lines of dialogue throughout the film and what felt like the unfinished character arcs that really threw me off. Lady Gaga's character went from a fresh-faced, supportive wife to a shrewd, paranoid businesswoman, while Adam Driver's character went from someone who wasn't at all bothered about Gucci and money to someone who splurged on exotic cars and works of art. Both of these would have been fine if these changes in their character hadn't happened over one scene or over a couple scenes. It just felt like scenes were missing, like pivotal scenes to explain why they suddenly turned into these people. Couple this with scenes cutting away to another at odd moments, or really suddenly jumping from the 70s to the 80s and then the 90s with very little notice, and very few title cards. The whole film felt very jarring and clunky. 1 minute you're in the end of the 70s, then you're in 1984, and then you're all the way in 1995, just before the company's about to be made public. It also felt like the narrative and themes of the film weren't really sure where they were going and what they were. Just felt very kind of jumbled and messed up, all resulting in a jumbled mess, honestly. And finally, obviously I don't want to keep bashing this film, finally the accents used in this film were just absolutely dreadful. Obviously maybe Lady Gaga being the exception, but people like Jeremy Irons and Adam Driver, as much as I love him, you could definitely hear throughout certain parts of the film that accents just completely slip. Jeremy Irons in one scene just seemed to completely forego the Italian accent completely and just went back into his usual British accent, which was really kind of took you out of the film. But having said all that, let's jump to the two most important questions. Question number one: would I recommend this film? I mean, if you're into like high fashion and and luxurious fashion, and you want to learn more about the brand, about Gucci, then maybe, go and watch this film. But in all honesty, there are other films out at the moment that are just far better than this. Aren't as boring and aren't as overlong. So I personally wouldn't recommend this film, but obviously, I just, I just recommend. You should never, listen. You should never take my opinion or other critics' opinions on board. Watch the film yourself first, because you may well enjoy it more than I did. You might find things in it that I missed and you can appreciate. But having said that, question number 2, does this film belong in the vault? Obviously, everything I listed before just really kind of ruined this film for me. I think the constant jumps in the timeline just made things a lot more confusing, and these unfinished character arcs. I've said all this already. So for those reasons, there's a little turd star that's gone off, followed by a £700 price tag for a Gucci belt. So there you have it, guys. There's my review for House of Gucci. As always, if you've seen it and you loved the film, let me know what you loved down in the comments below. If you hated it, let me know what you hated. As always, if you like what I'm doing here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, your pets, your families, your friendly neighbourhood Italians. I don't know. I couldn't think of a witty one for that. Friendly neighbourhood Italians who own super brands. I don't know. Till the next one. Peace and love, my dudes.